This is the new retro lens I've been using for a couple of weeks now. It creates this what's so-called donut bokeh, which is kind of like a weird bokeh look, very distinctive, very unique look of the image. It's a 250mm lens, f5.6, and you cannot even change the aperture. Why? Because this is a mirror lens, reflex lens, meaning, look at this. It has a mirror inside to actually get you that 250mm, and it's actually pretty tiny for such a long focal length. It's a TTartisan 250mm reflex lens, and let me just give you my opinion on this lens. And if you're new around here, my name is Magic. I'm a wedding photographer. I've been shooting destination weddings for 12 years, over 12 years. I've been running this YouTube channel for over 3 years, talking about gear, lenses, cameras for weddings. If you're interested in any of that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. So this is quite interesting. 250mm f5.6 reflex. So mirror, no aperture. It's tiny for such a long lens. And what is interesting, it's actually another M42 screw lens, meaning the mount here, it's an M42, very old school type of mount, and you do need an adapter to mount it to a different system. So I'm using Sony system. So I have this adapter, pretty big actually, that just screws right here. So this is a total length for me of that lens. The good thing about M42 is actually you can mount it to any system you want with just a different adapter. Body-wise, there's not much to talk about. It's a metal build, all metal build, so it's all just metal and glass. It's not the lightest, but it doesn't feel cheap the same way because of that metal build. You can definitely feel like the sturdiness of that lens. The only thing that you have on it is actually that focusing ring. The closest focusing distance is 2 meters, which is pretty nice actually for portraits. I was able to shoot these like kind of a close-up portraits with such a long lens, which is nice. And I think that lens like this, like lens created image like this, so bokeh like this, just falls into that category of love or hate lenses. So there's going to be people that just love that look and want to go for it, and there's going to be people that hate that look and just want a different look. I actually made a poll on my threads and on my Instagram. You can follow my Instagram if you want to take part in the future polls. Like I was asking my audience if they love it or do they prefer the smooth bokeh. So 60% people said they prefer smooth bokeh, 40% said they love this one, which is pretty much what I would think this is going to be. Half people is going to love it, half people is going to hate it. I have personally used this lens for multiple shoots. I shot a couple wedding photos. I shot a bunch of personal photos. I shot like entire portrait shoot with my wife. And I actually also use it as a only lens for the upcoming 5-minute challenge that I did in Florence with some amazing photographers. I'm not going to show you these results. You have to wait until the video drops next week, and make sure to, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure like these videos are the 101 how to pose couples, how to work with couples if you're a wedding portrait couple photographer. And I had some amazing guests this time. So what I particularly like about lens like this is that you get the brand new vintage lens. So you're getting the vintage look without the hassle of getting the old lens, of checking the quality of that lens, of checking, you know, if the mirror is clear or if the lenses inside are clear. So often the vintage lenses are just not performing as well as the new lenses. With this one, you actually get really great image quality and colors, which is something like many vintage lenses struggle with. So check out this portrait. I specifically framed Suzanne like in the lower part, the bottom of the frame for 2 reasons. First, I wanted to see how good the quality of that lens is off the center. And if you zoom in, I'm using A9 Mark III, so this is 24 megapixels. It's pretty sharp for me. Of course, it's not the sharpest of the lenses I've had, but like it's enough sharp for the vintage kind of look you're getting. And the second reason I was aiming to get as much of that crazy bokeh as I could. And looking at the colors, like you can see that they're pretty much spot on. The greens are great. The skin color is very neutral. This is the raw image, but I can apply like any preset I have in my Magicadabra pack. So this is my main Magicadabra color. So the most colorful preset I have. Normally with vintage lenses, you have to go up with contrast. With this one, I'm actually lowering the contrast. So you can see looks great. You can use the black and white contrasty preset. You can use the soft preset, black and white preset, or this 240 preset, which gives you like specific color look rendition, or my recent favorite, which is my flat magic preset. It was like completely flat preset, which I usually add some contrast to it. Like for this particular image, I would just add more temperature to make it slightly warmer, and that's it. So colors are really excellent with this lens. You can like use practically any preset you want and it will just work. Just look at this. You can even use one of my free presets like this one, expired film look, and to get even more vintage look. So here I missed the manual focus, but still it gives you a lot of that vintage look. I actually like it with this preset. It looks super interesting when you're framing your subject in between the things, which is like very easy with 250mm to have something in front of your subject and in the back of your subject. So these are leaves that are in front of the subject and look like they just created this painting-like image. It just looks like a painting. This one as well is shot through the leaves. So there are like 2 layers of things in the front or in the back. So I find a lens like this really good if you're looking for like a very distinctive, specific vintage look for your portraits. So what's my take on this lens? It's definitely joining like my pack of fun lenses. So for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know I divide my lenses into 2 groups. One is my workhorse lenses for my weddings, for majority of my work. These are G Master lenses, fast autofocus lenses, which I can use with my Sony A9 Mark IIIs. And then I have the whole bunch of fun lenses, and that includes tilt shift lenses, vintage lenses, adapted Leica lenses, the anamorphic lenses. So all of that stuff that I can just bring to create something unique, to create a different look, different from like a smooth regular image. And usually for my wedding work, I will bring 1 or 2 of the fun lenses with me for a wedding. And this week I'm shooting a wedding of my friend Adam and Sonia. You've seen them on the channel. I've been shooting them for a while, and their wedding is this Saturday, and I'll be bringing this reflex lens for that wedding. It's pretty affordable. Currently it's priced at $300, which sounds pretty fair for a construction like this. And you can expect some more of the images from this lens on my Instagram stories. Make sure to follow my Instagram. And yeah, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you very, very soon. Bye.